Yo, what's up, people? Summer is back. How the hell did that happen? I don't know. But here we are, and in this video, I want to talk about my summer EDC knives for 2024. But before we dive into that, I want to talk about some knives that I used to carry in the last couple of years during the summer because they are still worth mentioning and worth talking about because there's some good stuff in there. So I will do that real quick and then I jump into this year's EDC knives, and I'm not gonna even try to make this a short video because it's not gonna end up being a short video. So and I'm very excited about this year's summer knives because there's some good stuff in there, some stuff that has been on my list for a while, couldn't get it. Now I have it. I'm very grateful for it, and I'm very grateful for all the knives that I have experienced so far in general because man, it's kind of crazy. This hobby is very expensive. I'm currently trading a lot and selling a lot. Anyways, let's jump into the last couple of years summer knives that I have been carrying extensively in the past, and I'm probably not gonna carry a lot this year because I have so much other stuff. Yeah, I used to carry the Cold Steel Code 4 quite a bit. This one obviously is not very smooth because it hasn't been oiled in a while. I don't carry this during the winter time ever. I just carry it during the warmer summer period, and yeah, that's why it's kind of not in the perfect condition right now. But this is still a great knife. I absolutely love it. The Code 4 is obviously in the best steel Cold Steel has ever produced, CTS XHP, and it comes in a hollow ground blade. How good is that? I think this was the best Cold Steel time, to be honest. XHP hollow grinds doesn't get any better than that, and very slim, very compact to carry, but full size blade with a very thick tip, and sometimes you need that thick tip. And yeah, this is a great knife. Highly recommend the Code 4. I think they do it in flat ground S45VN now. Are they flat ground now? I hope they're not. Benchmade bug out has been carried quite a bit. This is more of a secondary knife to me, so I would always combine this with a bigger fixed blade or even a folder because it feels kind of flimsy. It's not really flimsy. Some people complain about the flex. I don't have any issues with that because it doesn't break if you use it normally. And yeah, I've added a backspacer in there that also helps. And I have some edge retention issues with this lately, so I need to get into sharpening this knife again and put a fresh edge on here because this knife doesn't stay sharp very long. It kind of loses its bite pretty quickly now, right now, and I don't know what that is about. I think it's about the ceramic edge that's on here because ceramic edges are not the best. So yeah, maybe I do a video where I sharpen this knife and test it. I don't know, but yeah, the bug out's still a great knife. Everybody loves the bug out. Most people love the bug out, let's say it like that. I do like the bug out. I wouldn't say I love the bug out because it's Benchmates always leave a little something to be desired. I don't know why, but they kind of, there's something missing and I don't know what it is. But yeah, it has kind of this in-between size that I don't like. I would like it to see bigger or slightly smaller, but the mini bug out is absolutely mini. That's kind of a shitty little knife. I don't know, way too expensive, way too small. The normal bug out is more my size. How big is it even? Yeah, I don't know. That's a weird size. Benchmade, stop making those weird sizes. Make it big or make it small, but don't do those in between things. Next knife that I used to carry quite extensively during the summers. Benchmade Spyderco Military, God forbid, military with the liner lock, which I prefer to the compression lock. Yeah, I said that. I know, I'm crazy, but the liner lock from Spyderco is something that is not a typical liner lock. It's way better than that, and I'm not gonna get into that in this video though. And yeah, the Spyderco Military, great knife to carry during the summer if you're looking for something bigger. Also the line lock is kind of more comfortable if you really bear down on that handle and don't have that stupid hump where the compression lock needs to go in. So yeah, I don't like the compression lock anymore. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really, I'm not a big fan of it anymore. I used to like it quite a bit, but I'm not into it that much anymore. Very boring old knife also. Spyderco Endura in VG10, and if I would lose it or break this today, I would probably get another one right away. And I probably would get it in K390 because that's a fantastic steel. I traded this Endura almost a decade ago, or even longer than a decade ago, for my Delica, which I still miss the Delica quite a bit in my collection. I would really like to get one again, probably in K390, because like I said, that's a great steel that I quite enjoy. And yeah, the Endura is still, in whatever configuration you have it, it's still a great knife. These last forever and ever and ever, and they are just good, solid, lightweight knives, big knives, lightweight knives, and easy to carry, and they get the job done. They have this dropping tip here, which is very good for the draw cut. So it's a very intuitive knife to use, I would say. Very good blade shape for all kinds of things. I have multiple Enduras. Everybody should own an Endura or a Delica or both. The Andela, I don't know, not so my thing. I would always pick a Endura. If I need big and if I need small, I would put the Delica in my pocket. So yeah, I don't have a need for the Andela, but to each his own. Like I said before, everybody has their own taste. A zero tolerance knife, my last one actually. I'm kind of hanging on to it for the reason that I like the design. I don't like zero tolerance knives anymore. I think they are kind of outdated quite a bit. This knife is absolutely, in its build quality, outdated. They still make it like they used to make it 10 years ago, and that's kind of a mistake, to be honest. This knife has still plastic cage bearings in there, so you know, that tells you everything you need to know. The reason I like this knife though quite a bit is it's a big knife, but it carries very compact, and it has a deep carry pocket clip, so it hides away in your pocket very well. This is a knife that I used to like to carry in the city quite a bit, because you kind of get this big stabby knife, but it doesn't print, and you can carry it very easily. So that's kind of the reason I keep it around. I like the carbon fiber, kind of. I don't like the grind. It's very thick behind the edge. The steel is also kind of brittle. S35 Vienna here. Did I mention it? It's the CT 0452 CF. Old school CT knife. Not the best knife, to be honest. Kind of a mediocre knife, but it has some advantages in terms of profile and how it carries, and it's a Sienkiewicz design, and yeah, I do like Sienkiewicz designs quite a bit. They are sexy. It's kind of a stabby little knife, not a good slicer, so yeah. There's that. Would still recommend it though for the summer. It's a great lightweight knife. Don't overpay on CTs though, they are not worth it. Cold Steel Broken Skull was in my pocket quite extensively in the recent years, and I'm not sure if they still make this. They make the cheaper version, which is the Range Boss, I know that, but I don't know if they make the Broken Skull still. So yeah, I don't think so. I think this one is discontinued. This one is also good old CTS XHP, super ugly branding up here. I still plan to regrind this at some point, because I want to thin down the edge a little bit more and take off that shitty little branding right here. But yeah, it's also a big knife and very thin, very lightweight, aluminum backspacer, super big actually for the weight. This is, I think, 11 centimeters of blade. Yeah, almost, what's that, like 4.2, 4.1 inches? It's a big knife, but it's super lightweight, and it's a Bowie. I like the Bowie blades. Yeah, who doesn't like clip points? Let's be honest. Clip points are amazing. So yeah, that's still a great knife. I would recommend you the cheaper version because it's just 40 bucks. So even though it has this, does it have the 43, what's the steel on the cheaper version? I forget. But it's probably gonna, you know, lose its edge retention, lose its edge quite quickly, but it's also easy to resharpen. So yeah, it's still a good beater knife, I guess. EDC knives for 2024. These are basically my EDC folders for this year. And also these guys right here, and then some fixed blades. So this year I'm going to go smaller. Last year I carried a lot of bigger knives, and this year I go smaller in size and combine them with fixed blades. Fixed blades like, for instance, my very well tested, well loved, well carried Hiritsukuri Kaiken by Williams blades. These are made by Winkler. As you can see probably from the finish and everything, micarta handle scales, beautiful micarta, kind of you know, stabby little Kaiken with 8 CRV2 steel blade, which is a tough carbon steel blade, low alloy steel, good steel. I like it. Takes a good edge, is very, very tough. I have pride with this knife, done a lot of stuff with this knife, carries well. Other good fixed blades for the summer, Spyderco Stretch 2. I'm so confused right now. This is not the Spyderco Stretch 2, this is the Spyderco Fred Perrin Street Bowie. Why did I say Stretch 2? We talk about the Stretch 2 in a second, but anyways, that's a good knife. I checked out the Spyderco Enough 2, which you probably are familiar with the design. I picked it up in a store just to get it in hand, and yeah, I don't like it. I don't like the Enough 2 in hand. I liked it in pictures a lot more, so I didn't buy one. Yeah, it's available in K for 90 though, which is a cool thing, but yeah, it kind of was a little bit small. Now, a new fixed blade though for this year is the Actanon Berber M25, which is kind of this very tactical Nesmog style blade. Very sexy, and also micarta scales. Black grayish. I think it's black micarta, but it looks grayish right now because it hasn't patinaed yet. And it has some cool features that I'm gonna talk about in the video. I think this is Sleipner steel. Yeah, it is. Cryo treated Sleipner. I'm not sure if it's cryo or cold treated because those are different things, but yeah. Anyway, so I've been using this a bit. Excellent Kydex, as always, from Actanon Berber. Is this my... I only have 2 Actanon Berber knives left, so this one and another one. And yeah, great quality out of the Czech Republic. Yeah, sometimes I don't, if I do not want to get a huge fixed blade on my belt or in my waistband, I go like with a really inexpensive tactical folder like this Victorinox fruit knife, basically, which I modified to make the handle a little bit more sticky, and it has this index thing here. So that's basically like a super cheap Pikal knife, kind of a tactical knife with a Kydex sheath that I made, and you know, it goes in the belt, on the belt with this thing, and then this drops in the waistband. So this always, if you pull it, this always dangles on the belt. So yeah, there's that. These are super cheap. You can pick them up in almost every store that has kitchen knives, I guess. At least in Europe you can. I don't know about the United States because that's a different story. Yeah, so those are the fixed blades for this summer. Let's jump into the folders because yeah, there is some exciting stuff here. The first one I have been carrying quite a bit lately, which is the Great Eastern Cutlery number 13, which is also called the Whip. Kind of a weird name, but yeah, that's what it's called. It's a very tiny little knife with a very nice action. Soft pull, soft close, but I do like it. It sounds good. The walk and talk is nicely. It's very clean running. And yeah, nicely finished Coca-Cola wood on the scales here. I think these are nickel silver bolsters and brass liners as we typically see them. I don't know even what's the shield type called on this one. I have to look that up. Is it a... that might be a corset. Yeah, I think that's a corset shield on the shield here. Spring doesn't sit flush with the scales when you are on the half stop. And yeah, you have a 1095 Wharncliffe blade, which cuts super nice because it's very thin and very thin behind the edge, as a lot of Great Eastern cutleries are. So yeah, as you can see, it's kind of patinaing, starting to patina on the 1095, and yeah, I leave it as it is unless there is some rust. And I kind of struggled with where to carry this knife because it's kind of too big to put it, I don't know, in a clip slip, which is a leather slip with a clip on there. So it's kind of too big for that. So I started to put it in my wallet. So I open up my wallet. This is the Cafe Jamaica wallet. I carry this one for years. Great wallet, very thin, very lightweight, very minimalistic. And I just open it. I put some paper over my cards so you don't see my information. And yeah, I just put it in there, and then I close it up. And that usually goes like that. And then I put it in my pocket, and that's fine. It never falls out for some weird reason. It kind of stays in there. And that's only possible because the whip is such a small little knife that is actually a possibility. So yeah, I like this quite a bit as a secondary knife, combined with a fixed blade or with a bigger folder. And today I actually picked up another one. It's very similar in size in terms of the, you know, thickness and overall. These are very, just to get an idea, these are very compact little little knives. Do I have a Victorinox on hand? Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Nope. So this is an Alox Cadet. Okay, this is a very a knife that a lot of people are familiar with, and this is kind of that size, like an Alox Cadet. So a bigger Victorinox, a normal size Victorinox would be that big, and this is quite a bit smaller. As I'm thinking about it, the Cadet would be also a great knife to put in my wallet, maybe. I haven't thought about that, but obviously the Cadet is not as cool as a Great Eastern Cutlery because it's not as expensive. And the knife that I picked up today for the exact same reason that I carry the whip in my wallet is this Boca Barlow knife. I don't even know the full name of this. I think it's just a Barlow. It's a tiny little clip point that I kind of hated in pictures. But in real life, I actually do like it quite a bit because it has that traditional clip point that, you know, I'm just a sucker for clip points. I like them. It comes in this acid washed 01 steel blade. 01, like 80C or V2 steel, just a variation of 1095, a little bit more complex. I do like 01 and 80C or V2 a little bit more than 1095. I think they're better in edge retention. They're still low alloy carbon steel, so you get a lot of the toughness. And yeah, I do like those steels quite a bit. I think they are, especially 01. 01 is a phenomenal steel. Yeah, should sharpen up beautifully. Haven't done it because I just, like I said, picked it up today. The wood on here is plum wood, and it has the Boker shield inlay there, the new shield. And I think these came out 2 years ago, and it kind of didn't sell as well as Boca expected it. So these are all on sale. So I bought this for 30 bucks. And yeah, I'm not promoting them. You can, you know, this channel is not sponsored by anybody, but, you know, just to let you know, most dealers have these on sale and all the other Boca Barlows. And I actually looked at the Boca club knife as well, which also was very inexpensive. And I didn't like that because that one had a much softer spring tension, and this one is still soft but not as soft as the Boca club knife that I checked out. So yeah, the spring tension on these Barlows is not the best. I would like to see a little bit of a harder pull and close. I would say it's like a It's a 2 or 3 maybe. It's very soft though. But yeah, I like the wood. I like the traditional look of this. And this would be also a great knife to go in my wallet as a secondary knife. And yeah, we're gonna see some rust maybe with the acid wash, I don't know. But yeah, this is a great little knife, and like I said, really didn't like it in pictures online, but I do really like it in hand because it has that warm, nice feel to it. It's kind of, I don't know, wood and carbon steel. The combination is just great, and never gets old, never gets old. Even though it is kind of, you know, old school at this point, but yeah, I do like it quite a bit. Since we speak about traditional knives, I will talk about some sod busters this year. The first sod buster that I will be carrying quite extensively and already have and already rusted it quite a bit, so I had to use some flits on it. This is the Otter Schließmesser 07, which is basically, you know, the German word for a folding knife. It's the Otter folding knife 07. And this was kind of not on my radar at all, and they have been manufacturing this for quite a while. It's a sod buster, a big sod buster. Unlike the case sod busters though, it has a backlog, and it's still a budget knife made in Germany, which is great. Brass bolsters, brass liners, wood scales. I don't know what the wood is. I think it's like sapelli or something. It's a weird wood. I don't like the smell of it at all. I don't like the feel of it at all, but you know, it is what you get. And it's a sod buster blade out of carbon steel. I think that's probably C75 carbon steel because Otter uses that carbon steel a lot. And yeah, I want to use some sod busters this year in carbon steel, and I'm also gonna get a case sod buster, the smaller version though, to kind of compare it to maybe, or kind of use it as well, because I'm really into the sod buster blade shape lately. And yeah, it's just a basic, very simple blade shape, thin blade stock on here, thin cutting edge, you know, great cutting potential. Not miracles to be expected from the steel, but you know, it is like all the old knives, they cut from their geometry rather than from their steel. And yeah, there's something beautiful about old wooden knives of carbon steels, like I said, and I'm kind of in that phase right now again, which I've always been in that phase, but I kind of tap in and out of it. So yeah, I carried a lot more stainless steels in the last couple of summers because I don't like the patina and rust issues, but this year I'm really focusing on a lot of carbon steels. I don't really care anymore as I used to. And yeah, speaking of stainless steel though, the Para-Free is back in the pocket because I want to do a review on it. I want to do a very extensive review about the Para-Free, meaning I will talk about the G10 Para-Free, the Para-Free with micarta scales in the skinny mod. As you can see here, the skinny mod kind of removes that hump section in the middle, so it's kind of a more it's kind of a different grip, more minimalistic style. And I also will talk about the Para-Free in a sprint run and the Para-Free in the lightweight. So basically I will talk about every freaking Para-Free that's on the market, I think, and yeah, kind of summarize all my thoughts about the Para-Free in one video. And then I will decide whether I get rid of this one as well, because I have sold already my lightweight Para-Free, and I think I'm gonna sell my other ones as well. I don't know yet, but we'll see. Yeah, so the Para-Free gets a video, and S45VN gets a video as well, because I have been planning to do that for years now, and I've never gotten around to it because steel videos are a pain in the ass to make if you want to make them right. So yeah, we'll talk about S45VN hopefully this summer as well, because I'm already in the process of editing that video. Just need to get it done and out there. And yeah, hopefully then that is that about S45VN, because yeah, so yeah, Para-Free and S45VN, hopefully both of those get a review. Next up, let's speak about the Spydercos first. The Spyderco Manix. I had a Manix too, in 154 cm with the thick blade stock and the hollow grind, and I kind of liked it, but never liked it too much. I sold it, kind of regret it, because it was kind of a, you know, collectible Spyderco, because it's no longer in production in that variation. And I did get, I think last year I got this lightweight Manix 2 in Rex 45, which is also not a stainless steel. This is a PM steel, but it's in the same family as K390 or M4, so high toughness steel, high edge retention, low stainlessness kind of deal. And I did have Rex 45 in a PM2 before, and I really loved that steel. I kind of didn't need another PM2 though, so I kind of sold that knife, and always wanted to get Rex 45 in my collection again. And since I didn't have a Manix anymore, and since I didn't have Rex 45, what a perfect coincidence to get this Rex 45 sprint run discontinued Manix 2 lightweight. I do like the lightweight a little bit more than the regular Manix, and it's good for the summer because it's wide, but it is very lightweight, as the name suggests. I think the new Manix lightweights come with screwed construction now. This one is still pinned, but at least you can adjust the pivot, which is good. So yeah, Rex 45, a steel that is very, very good, and I do like it quite a bit. And I do want to talk about it, use it a little bit more. The reason I haven't used it since last year is I want to get the factory edge, which this one still has on here, on in some steel testing. So I want to see how the factory edge performs. So that's why I kind of left it unused, and I can't wait to get into this knife because, yeah, the Manix 2 lightweight is kind of exciting to me because I never had a lightweight Manix before this one. Not a lightweight Spyderco, the Native Chief lightweight. Kind of the Native is kind of underrated Spyderco. Everybody tells me, everybody likes it quite a bit. Never had a Native. I just bought the Native Chief this year, a couple months ago, I think. And yeah, it's a great, very, very lightweight knife because they skipped the whole liners thing in total. So this knife and the Stretch 2 XL have no liners, and they don't even have a backspacer. They just kind of put these two scales together. A lot of people would really like to see, you know, steel backspacers on these lightweight models, and I kind of agree. I think steel backspacers would be an upgrade to these, because for instance on my old Endura, the backspacer while disassembling kind of broke because of the spring tension, and so I had to replace this one. Has like a carbon fiber, red carbon fiber backspacer in there now, which kind of sucks because I would really like to see them not using plastic backspacers on here, but that makes them super, super lightweight, and as long as you don't disassemble them too often, you should be fine. And yeah, this one happens to be in CTS BD1N steel, which is a great steel. I do like it quite a bit. I should also talk about the steel this summer, so expect a review of this knife and the steel maybe in total. You know what would be a great comparison? The Stretch XL for this video, but I don't have a Stretch 2 XL. I wanted to buy one. The Stretch 2 XL currently is only available in VG10 though, and I'm glad I held back on buying one, because not that I don't like VG10, I do like it quite a bit, but it now is going to be released in K390 permanently, which is a great idea from Spyderco. And the Stretch 2 XL also will come out in a sprint run of PD1 steel. PD1 steel is kind of I think it's a tougher D2 steel, and it comes in that beautiful burgundy red black blade thing edition. And yeah, that one would be interesting as well, but I think I'm leaning more towards the K390 version on the Stretch 2 XL. That would be a great, great, great knife. A bigger stretch, I like the Stretch quite a bit, a bigger stretch in K390, that would be amazing. And again, both the Stretch and the Native don't have liners, so they're super, super lightweight, but still big. So this is kind of a knife that yeah, you can combine it with fixed blade or everything, but you still get that very long blade length, even though it's so lightweight. So yeah, I just carried it today. It slices great. Broke down a couple of cardboard boxes today with this, and it performs really well. You don't even know you have this on you because it's so lightweight and easy to carry. A knife that I didn't expect, it actually two knives that I really didn't expect to show up anytime soon, were the Demco 8020.5, for instance. The reason I kind of held back on the 8020.5 was that it is kind of overpriced, I think. Most knives are overpriced right now, but this one especially. And this is the CPM 3V version, which is over 200 bucks usually. I bought it on sale, so I kind of couldn't resist because it was on sale, and I think it was getting a little bit closer to where this knife should be priced. So 8020.5, a smaller version of the 8020, thinner version, and very nice knife. I do like it quite a bit. I've been carrying this extensively in the last couple of weeks, and yeah, you know that I like the Demco knives, the Demco designs. I love the shark lock. Yeah, we'll talk about the 3V, how it performs, how the edge performs, how the grind performs from factory. This is not the thinnest knife behind the edge, and how the size and where it fits in and everything. But yeah, I can spidey flick it. So yeah, that's a unexpected knife that I really thought I would never buy because of the price. But actually, yeah, got a good price on it, and I couldn't say no. And like I said, so far a fantastic EDC folder in the what is this, a 3-inch knife probably? I think it's like a 3-inch knife, yeah. Small little knife. Actually, let's compare it to the Para 3 because that's more. Most people know that a little bit more. So yeah. This one was really hard to get out of my pocket to use other knives, so that kind of tells you a lot. So yeah. So Demco 8020.5 will get a review. Have you seen the new Demco releases? I think they will bring out 8020 Slim in full flat ground blade, which is kind of exciting, to be honest, because that could change a lot of the cutting performance on the 8020 full size. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that as well. The Demco brand, I think, gets what Cold Steel used to be more and more, and I do like them. Yeah, I do like Demco knives quite a bit. I think they have some great designs out there, and yeah, they're putting great products on the market, and I think they're just getting started, which is even more exciting. So yeah, can't wait to see how the 8020 Slim full flat ground blade is going to perform. But yeah, I kind of start to collect Demco knives. Yeah, that's getting expensive, that's for sure. The other knife that I really didn't expect to show up was this one right here. So I kind of ordered this knife years ago. Always were on the lookout for one of these. Never could buy one because they were always sold out and not in production as often. They were in production but with a different variation. But this variation, especially with the inlays, was a little bit harder to get. Now I did had some ProTech knives in the past. I sold them because I kind of had some issues with them. They kind of were a little bit difficult to sharpen, couldn't stay sharp for very long. Kind of, you know, I always liked the build quality of ProTech, but I never liked the performance that much. And this is my first ProTech in years, and I've been trying to get one for one of these in this configuration with the wooden inlays for 7 years now or something. So yeah, this is kind of surreal that I was finally able to pick one up, and I actually bought it today as I'm filming this video. So this is the ProTech Godson. Yay! The Godson is basically the smaller version of the Godfather, which the Godfather is like a huge knife. It's like this big. So I also handled that today, and I don't like the Godfather too much. I think it's too big. This one is nice and small, a good secondary knife. So you carry like a fixed blade and then you carry this and then you are good to go. So this is like a very nice lightweight EDC knife. I wanted the satin version originally and maybe the tuxedo, the white micarta inlays, but in real life I actually like the wood more, and I do like the character of this one more. And I really can't wait to see. It already has scratches on here, as you can see, because I'm using a knife on the exact same day that I buy it. I don't really wait any longer. I just start using it. So yeah, I can't wait to see if this knife gets really scratched up and the aluminum starts to get some love marks here and there, and the blade, and I think it will look really, really good. The action on these Protecs, phenomenal. I don't think there is a better automatic knife company on the market in terms of the action, and these are very snappy. You know, auto knife people will know. I don't carry a lot of auto knives. I have a Hogue auto knife, which is good. I have a Benchmade, which is not good. Benchmade is not making good auto knives. I think they are not. Benchmade is good with manual knives. They're not great with the auto mechanisms, I think, both in the assisted and then the push button autos. But yeah, there are not a lot of auto knives that I like to carry, and Protec knives are definitely ones worthy of checking out because they have such a clean action. Now the edge on this one out of box is not great, as it's usually the case. As you can see, I can kind of not cut myself by trying to cut myself, and yeah, Protec have some issues with the cutting edges out of box, and let me know in the comments if you have those, if you have Protec knives and you have those issues as well, because I certainly did in the past and I still have it on this knife. So yeah, I need to sharpen this guy and see. Hopefully this 154 cm here is not bad as my other Protec knives were, because yeah, that would be a bummer, because I waited for this knife so long and now it's finally here. Yeah, such a cool little knife. I mean, it's like a folding dagger. I love it. It's great. The wood, what's the wood on this one? It's kind of an Australian wood. I've never seen this from Protec. It's the iron bark eucalyptus, which is, I don't know, it's kind of an Aussie wood, so it should be a little bit harder, I guess. And how does it smell? It smells okay. It smells not bad, you know. It feels good. The white inlay on the other Godsend that I handled today, the tuxedo one, felt really good, really nicely finished. This one is a little bit rougher, which it certainly will smoothen down over time and hopefully also darken a little bit more. And yeah, I think wooden inlays or wood in general on knives is just classic. It's looking good, it's timeless. And but yeah, the tuxedo version that I handled also had a really bad factory edge, so this one is the better one. It's out of these that I handled, and it's slightly off-centered, as all Protecs have been that I ever have handled. So I don't know why they don't manage to get these perfectly centered, or why they don't manage to get perfect edges on these, but everything other than that is pretty good from Protec. Their quality is really nicely put together. They just have couple of small details they need to work on, but yeah, I do like it quite a bit so far. Hopefully the cutting edge issue will resolve. We'll see. You will see that in my review of that knife. Two more knives, I guess. I'm not sure if I will talk about Medford knives this summer. I have some lightweight, easy to carry Medford knives. Not sure if I want to get into that. A lot of controversy surrounding the Medford brand. I don't really care about that. I think their knives are really good. I'm not sure though if I have the time to get into, you know, talking some of the Medford knives that I own. Maybe I do. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know yet. So no Medfords currently in my EDC. I want to talk about a couple of fun knives during this summer though. Category of fun knife should be clear to everybody. It's a knife that's kind of stupid but kind of cool at the same time. And I have two knives. One that's really cheap. Actually, both of these were really cheap because I bought them on the secondary market. This is the Cold Steel SR1 Light, which is a gigantic Andrew Demko design, I'm assuming, because it looks and screams Andrew Demko to me. Very thick blade, so like a 5mm thick blade and back spring here. And this is the clip point version, obviously. As you know, I like the clip points, and this is in 8CR14 MOV steel, which is basically an AUS 8 equivalent. It would feel much better if it would say AUS 8 on here, wouldn't it? Right? It's kind of weird how marketing works, right? But it's basically an AUS 8 equivalent. Great knife for the money. I bought this for 40 bucks. That's 40 bucks on the secondary market. That's crazy. Brand new condition. Have used it, as you can see. Have chopped a little bit, cut a little bit. It's kind of a stupid knife. It's kind of a, man, it's a good knife for, especially for the money. It's just cool. It's huge, very giant, very heavy also. Even though it has no liners, but the blade is just so thick and big. I was surprised that this was as thin as it is behind the edge. Wouldn't have expected that, but yeah. Cool knife. I wish they would make a slim version of this, like a 3mm blade stock and everything much slimmer. That would be a great EDC summer knife. But this one is kind of in this video because I will still carry it even though it's a brick, but it's just so fun to carry and it's just really good. Cold Steel was amazing, still is amazing. Like I said, I said this before, I don't like the new brand too much, but they have some great knives. A fun knife in this category is this Fox knife, the MacLeod Tracker, which is so big I can't even get it in frame. This is a giant folder. I mean, it's gigantic. I cannot say anything less. Also like a 5, maybe even a 6mm blade and a huge giant piece of back spring. This is a gigantic folder with a back lock and the additional lock, and it's crazy. I also bought this, actually I bought this last year and I have used it since last year, but I never made a video about it, so I plan to do a video this summer because it's just a fun summer knife to goof around with, and summer is a little bit about, you know, doing fun stuff as well, besides working and, you know, working out and, you know, all the things we still need to do. But yeah, this should be a fun video, I guess. So yeah, that's it for this year's summer EDC. Kind of a longer video. Yeah, I need to stop now because I have to go places, and I hope it wasn't too long to watch. I'm so thankful for every knife that I was able to purchase recently, or in general. I'm very, very humbled by the knives that I could be able to check out, and yeah, it's gonna be an exciting year, I think, in terms of knives. There's going to be so much stuff that comes out, so much good stuff. There are barely bad knives coming out anymore. It's, yeah, the knife world is crazy right now, also crazily expensive. I will do a couple of talks, knife talks probably as well. Maybe talk about the collecting the whole collecting thing and everything, and yeah, we'll see. We'll see. A couple of videos might be coming out that are not, you know, featuring knives that are in this video, but we'll see how it goes. Hopefully I can make videos about all the knives that I just showed you, at least the ones that I'm carrying this year. So anyways, I'm rambling. Thank you guys for watching. Maybe see each other in another video. Goodbye, people.